Happy World Penguin Day, everybody. To celebrate, I was hoping to play through one of the games that I knew as a kid and is the only penguin game that I kind of grew up with, which was Antarctic Adventure. And here we're playing this on what's called the 72-in-1 Cartridge Story, which is a multicart. And when I was a kid, my best friend owned this cart, and I didn't actually know what a pirated cartridge was. I was just excited that there was a NES cartridge that had 72 games on it, one of them being this particular one, and I found my own copy of this a couple of years ago. But either way, this game, even a long while after my friend's copy was stolen, kind of stuck in my head for a long while. And when I was able to get my own copy of the cartridge, this was the first game that I played. And I still continue to play this game quite regularly because it's just so much fun. And the other thing I did when I was younger was learn how to play Skater's Waltz, which is this tune here, by ear on piano, just because. Why not? Now, I don't know if you guys have played the game before, but essentially, you're Penta the Penguin. You might have heard of him from a couple of other different games. There are several games that focus around Penta, including, I think it's like a shooty shoot game. Maybe Polonius? Polonius? Is that a guy from Shakespeare? Polonius? I don't actually know. I think it's supposed to be like a parody of something like Fantasy Zone, for example. But either way, yeah, he was in a couple of games. There was this game. There was another game where it's similar to this, but you kind of race through different types of, I guess, geographical areas like water, and then there's jungles, and as well as the ice stages and things. But being from Canada, this particular game always made me feel quite right at home. But anyway, the whole premise of the game is you have to run down these icy pathways, and you're going towards these little shacks at the end of each area, and you can see up at the top there's your time limit. So there's currently 50 seconds left, and then the rest of the distance is also indicated there. So every time you fall down a pit or get hit by something, obviously it slows you down. So you do your best to avoid obstacles and try to make your way through. And if you can make it to the next building within the time limit, then you get to continue on, and the point of the game is to get all the way around. And you can also increase or decrease your speed as well. Also, too, I always found funny that the geographical locations indicated by the flags at each one of these little house stations doesn't really make much sense. You go from Britain to Japan to France. It just seems completely random. There's no Canada, which was always sad for me. But what are you gonna do? And we're hitting all the ice puddles. But yeah, I don't know if fish in this game are just for points. And I know certain types of flags, like the multicolored flags, for example, give you the little helicopter hat. But I think everything else is just for points. I might be wrong, though. Yeah, see, now we have the little helicopter hat. Which is all fine and good until you end up accidentally running into a sea lion's face. But I never get tired of listening to this song and playing this game. It's just so much fun. From France to Australia. There we are. What will we find next? And the little map before you start too kind of gives you an indication of how far your distance is. So it's kind of fun just to relatively compare each pathway to the one that you just finished. Oh, okay then. I guess we're not gonna helicopter hat for very long. But yeah, I am of the general consensus that there need to be more penguin games. And I think, maybe it's the guy who does weird video games. I think he might have posted a video at some point about how fast Penta actually travels and compared it to other types of fast things that we know of. And it's actually a really good video. I think that's where I learned about some of the other games that Penta stars in. I'll try to link that video in the description. So where are we going to end up now, I wonder? New Zealand. Alright, so that makes more sense. At least they're in the same general locale. Australia and New Zealand, I mean. But I mean, we're traveling just around Antarctica. There's probably some backstory there. Maybe it's the great settlers of Antarctica and the countries that they came from or something, and who knows. I don't think anybody will ever know for sure. But yeah, as the levels go on too, there's more pitfalls to avoid. There's less opportunities for avoiding those pitfalls as well. Like some of the later levels, there's just hole after hole after hole. And it gets to be quite intense after a while. I know some people just break a lot in this game, but I don't see what breaks are necessary. Although I do fall in holes way more than other people. I know in some of the other Penta games too, like if you fall in a hole, there's a secret shop or something. As far as I understand, there's none of that in this game. I've never found a secret shop down a pit. Then again, although I do fall in quite a few pits, who knows? Oh, that pose. My little Penta. We made it to Penguin Land this time. I guess we're halfway. That makes the most sense. Might as well use our helicopter hat now, just for fun. I'm so glad that we didn't accidentally fall in that hole. Goodness, we can't get any fish. It's a good thing that there's no food system where you absolutely need the fish to keep going. Could you imagine? Like you accidentally kill Penta because you're not feeding him. I guess in real life you would hope that fish wouldn't just be jumping out of a hole for you to catch. That always reminds me, whenever I think about fishing, I always think about an episode of King of the Hill where Peggy is trying to keep Bobby from learning about the professional eating contest, so she brings him fishing and she teaches him how to fish without a rod because she needs him to be distracted for the whole day. And by the end of the day, he's just reaching into the water and pulling fish out. It's just such a weird episode. There we go. Now we're in the US. Now here's a nice little short run with a really big turn in it, according to the map. So we should be expecting that to come up pretty soon, I guess. I like how those lions just smile at you and just kind of wait for you. They're like, oh hey, hello meal. Don't you look delicious and blubbery? I'm glad that there's no violent animation of you being eaten by those nice sea lions. There might be walruses for all I know, but there's no tusks on them. Just smiles. That's how they try to get you. They give you the helicopter hat, and then they give you this false sense of security. And then they put a whole bunch of orange dudes in the way. Oh, good lord. We gotta go. We're gonna make it. We have lots of time. Argentina. Alright, there's another couple of stages left. This game just flies. I remember when I was young, I could never quite make it all the way through. It wasn't until I became older and had the game again and had some time to practice that I got to beat relatively decent at making it through on the first try. Though I do play, I don't know what the levels at the beginning of the game indicate. If that's like the difficulty setting, for example. But if that's the case, I'm playing on level 1, which probably means that I'm on easy mode. Which I'm alright with. I'm quite happy for easy mode. Because I do find this game kind of challenging at times. Remember I talked about how there's always way too many pitfalls that you can't avoid after a while? Oh, I'm sure you can avoid them. I'm just not very good at avoiding them, but here we are. And even though it feels like we hit 1 million things, we're still making it. So that's good news. We're back to the US. We went from the US to Argentina, back to the US. And now we have the shortest little run ever. Well, I say that, but relatively, it's what, a couple of 100 kilometers, I guess? And then I think after this is just the last level, and it's the last leg of our journey, which is enormous. And that's just the you're under 10 seconds. So there's the United Kingdom. Yes, and you can see at the top there, this is by far the longest leg. Or what, 1,500 kilometers to travel? Oh no! We can't afford much of this interruption. We gotta get this guy home. I'm assuming he's going home. Holy smokes, don't do it. It would be sad if after all of this, we didn't make it. Who knows, we might be okay. I need one of those helicopter hats right about now though. And ask and you shall receive. Well, that wasn't very nice of them to just drop us right on a puddle. Okay, let's see if we can make it here. I have confidence that we'll be alright. If we can stop jumping in ice fishing pits. Oh, good lord. Go, Penta. You can do it. We might make it, but just barely. We don't have any other major issues here. Holy smokes. It's all falling apart. We can do it. Oh my god, get there, buddy. Wow, just by the skin of our teeth. And we've made it to Japan. And there's that pose again. And then the game just starts over, because isn't that fun? But anyways, I guess we go up to level 2 difficulty or something. Who can say for sure? But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me on this Antarctic adventure. And hopefully, we'll see you guys again soon. Enjoy the rest of World Penguin Day. And take care till next time. Bye for now.